Hello, today we are going to do an exercise working in our 90-90 position at the wall. I have a weight. You could use a kettlebell, you could use a book, you could use like a plate, meaning a weight plate, just something that's weighted. I like to use a weight if possible because this is pretty easy to hold. It's got these two ends, but a kettlebell works really well, or like a nice thick book. Okay, so we're going to start out in our 90-90, which if you are seeing this video, you have seen in the office with me. I'm going to be using this towel to put it under my neck so that I have a little support so I can breathe. So again, you should know what I'm talking about if we worked on this. And I would also potentially have a ball with me if I need it to put between my knees. So I'll set myself up with the towel under my neck so that I have the ability to keep myself in a good breathing position. And then I'm setting myself up so that my knees and my hips are at roughly 90-90. If this is pinchy in the hips, you can back away from the wall a little bit so this angle is a little more open. I'm going to get weight into the tripod of my foot, so the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and then both sides of the heel. And then if I had my ball, I would squeeze in on the ball and kind of find that position with my pelvis, which we've done before, but I don't necessarily need to do that for me, okay? So if we've done this, you know that we're working on creating a little bit of core tension by kind of zipping up from the lower core, not by suctioning in and lifting the ribs, but by zipping up from the lower core, and then being able to inhale into the ribs, and then exhale by zipping up from the lower core and letting the ribs drop down. So we've worked on that. In doing that, we're also creating a little tension in our hamstrings, which are the muscles on the back of the legs, by just a little bit dragging the heels down towards the sit bone. So as I do that, I should feel almost my tailbone lift off the floor a little bit. I'm not coming up right now into a bridge. I might do that at some point, but right now I'm just creating that little bit of tension. So I have my hamstrings on. I feel my pelvis roll underneath me a little bit because the hamstrings are on. I have a little tension in the core, and then I have the ability to breathe into the ribs. So we've got all that happening. Now I'm going to take my weight. I'm going to inhale for nothing. I'm going to exhale and press the weight up. So as I press this weight up, that's going to help me to drop these ribs kind of down. And when I say down, I mean down towards the floor, okay? So I'm going to take a nice inhale into the sides and the back of the ribs, trying not to flare the ribs up. So I'm breathing into the sides and the back, and then I'm going to exhale through that tension in the core. Inhale into the back of the ribs. So I feel the back of the ribs kind of swing back and hit the floor, and then I'm going to exhale. Now I can start to get more exciting with this. I still have tension in the hamstrings. I'm still keeping weight on the tripod of the foot. I still have tension in the abs. I'm going to inhale and drop the weight down, not letting the ribs flare open, and then exhale and press the weight up. So just adding a little bit of movement. Can I keep this movement? Ooh, I mixed it up there. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Inhale. And the inhale is happening to the sides and the back of the ribs. I'm not letting the ribs flare up in the low back arch, okay? So it's an exhale up, inhale down. Then, here I am, I keep my tension. Can I inhale and bring this weight back a little bit without letting the ribs flare up? And then exhale and bring it back. Likewise, I could inhale here and then exhale here. It's actually a little bit easier to exhale and have the arms back and then inhale with the arms up. So exhale here, because this exhaling helps me to keep the ribs down. But we really want to be able to have options. We want to be able to do it all if possible. And that's really the progression of the exercise, is starting to be able to move out of that 90-90, just basic keeping the core stable, and starting to be able to move the arms and get some overhead motion without a lot of excessive rib flare.